Title: She begged to return, then left again. She was emotionally involved with another person and I was furious. I decided to give her space, not contacting her for 2 weeks. During that time, she called me, apologized, and begged me to take her back, crying. Hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. We're back with another subscriber story. If you'd like to share your own story, please send it to Lessons from Life. I'll display the email address on the Lessons from Life screen. You can send a funny story, ask for advice, or share an experience you've been through, and I'll do my best to help. Some people email just to seek advice and don't even want the video made, and I do what I can. But if you'd like to share a story, please send it via email. Now, let's dive into today's story. As you can see from the title, this one starts with a message. Hey Lessons from Life, I love your channel and all the advice you give about relationships, red flags, and toxic behaviors. It has truly opened my eyes, and I wanted to share my story, hoping it will resonate. Please keep my identity anonymous. It all started months ago when I began having strange dreams about my ex-girlfriend being with another man. In these dreams, she would walk away from me, holding his hand, and no matter how many times I called out to her, she just ignored me. I'm not sure if these were warnings from the universe or signs to help me avoid further pain, but I'm thankful those dreams guided me to where I am now. At that time, I was overly focused on the relationship and put her on a pedestal. I thought it was a good thing, but as you know, when you put someone above you, they start to look down on you. That built up anxiety and insecurities in me. Before this, I had been confident in pursuing my own goals. We had been together for over 3 years, but I let her manipulate me, gaslighting me into believing she was asexual and that I was too nice when she didn't want to sleep with me. After these strange dreams, they kept recurring when we would spend time together, so I eventually confronted her. I asked if she had any male friends, and she denied it, but I knew better. I pointed out how she dressed and how any guy would hit on her. She paused, then admitted there was a guy. I appreciated her honesty but felt crushed. We were driving together when she told me she didn't feel love for me anymore, that this new guy from her school made her feel cared for. She was having an emotional affair. I was furious, but I told her I'd give her space. I didn't contact her for 2 weeks. During that time, she called and apologized, begging me to forgive her. I made the mistake of taking her back. It wasn't long before I realized she was still in contact with him. What infuriated me even more was that her friends and her sister, who were also in bad relationships, encouraged her to be single, to live freely, and even to cheat. I was devastated. I tried therapy thinking it might help. For sessions in, the therapist asked her what she saw in this other guy that I didn't offer. She couldn't answer. The pain I felt was unbearable, and I even had thoughts of ending my life. It was the hardest time of my life. Toward the end of the 3rd session, she told me she was going to hang out with him again. I snapped. We were supposed to be working through things, and she was still destroying our relationship. The counselor saw right through her lies and messaged me privately, saying she was using her anxiety to manipulate me. He told me that if she truly cared, she'd have ended things with him. The worst part was when she said, "I wish I had left you after our first breakup." Her words shattered me. I didn't recognize her anymore. That day I had had enough. I showed up at her place determined. I looked at her seriously and told her I didn't care anymore. I was going to focus on myself, and if I ever loved again, it would be someone who truly understood me. I walked away, not looking back. I could hear her crying, but I didn't care. I felt like I'd been dragged through the mud for too long. The breakup was painful and I felt alone for a while. But I kept going to therapy, worked out at the gym, focused on my career, and eventually started seeing some improvement. Months later, I realized that I'd dodged a bullet. My therapist told me she had moved on too quickly to another relationship, which was bound to fail. He said I needed to find someone who matched me and to never put anyone else above myself. I grew a lot through all this. Therapy helped me become stronger, and when I look back at my old self, I barely recognize him. I laugh now at how needy and insecure I was. Today, I'm in a much healthier relationship with a strong, committed woman who respects and appreciates me. She's been through her own struggles with betrayal and recognizes the importance of trust. We've even been to therapy together. I'm happier, stronger, and love myself first. I encourage anyone going through something like this to never take a cheater back. Keep moving forward. Cheating is always a choice, and my ex should have communicated with me rather than seeking fulfillment outside the relationship. I also learned about attachment theory, and I believe her past, with her father's infidelity, shaped how she treated relationships. I'm glad to hear you've made it out. You've clearly put in the work, focusing on yourself and your career. That's great. One thing I did notice is that you were ready to jump into another relationship before you even had time to heal. I hope you were working on yourself before you considered dating again, but if it's working out with your new girlfriend, that's awesome. You've learned a lot from this, and I respect that. Keep moving forward and never settle for less than you deserve. I'm glad to hear you've made it out. You've clearly put in the work, focusing on yourself and your career. That's great. One thing I did notice is that you were ready to jump into another relationship before you even had time to heal. I hope you were working on yourself before you considered dating again, but if it's working out with your new girlfriend, that's awesome. You've learned a lot from this, and I respect that. Keep moving forward and never settle for less than you deserve. I know it can be tough to be single after a relationship like that, but taking time to heal is crucial. You don't want to just jump from one relationship to another in hopes of feeling better. Sometimes, it's more about focusing on your own growth first. But if you're genuinely happy with your new relationship, then that's amazing. I hope it brings you the happiness and respect you were looking for in the last one. Looking back, you can see how much you've grown. You've become more self-aware, and you can clearly recognize your past mistakes, which is a sign of maturity. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting to please others, but in the end, you've realized the importance of valuing yourself. It seems like therapy really helped you, and now you're stronger than ever. I respect how you owned up to your insecurities in the past and how you've learned from it. A lot of people wouldn't admit their weaknesses, but you've done that. You're in a better place now, and that's what matters. You've learned that it's not about just being in a relationship, it's about being with someone who truly respects you. It's also clear that you've found someone who understands you now. Your new girlfriend seems like she's been through similar struggles and truly values what you bring to the table. That's the kind of relationship you deserve, one where there's mutual respect, trust, and understanding. I can tell you've been through a lot, but you've come out the other side stronger, and that's something to be proud of. Remember, healing takes time, but you've done the work. Stay focused on yourself, continue to grow, and never lose sight of the person you've become. You're living proof that it's possible to come out of toxic situations and find happiness within yourself first. So, to everyone reading this, take a note from this story: don't settle for someone who doesn't treat you right. If they've cheated, manipulated, or emotionally hurt you, walk away. Focus on yourself and build your own happiness. A healthy relationship starts with a healthy you. It might hurt now, but in time, you'll come to realize it was the best decision you could have made. Thanks for sharing your story, and keep pushing forward. Life has so much more to offer when you're ready to open your heart to the right person. And remember, don't just settle for love, settle for respect, trust, and genuine connection. Stay strong and keep growing. Alright, that's it for today's story. I hope this gave you some perspective. Feel free to share your thoughts or advice in the comments below. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.